I am so honored to have Dr. Celestine Star with me today. She is a celestial priestess, a goddess, a therapeutic healer, an author, a speaker, and she works with the Galactic Council, which she'll be talking about today too. It's so good to have you here today, Celestine.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here. Yes.
Yeah. So, the first question that I have for you today is, what does the goddess mean to you?
The goddess means eternity. She is the great mother that holds the cosmos, the universe. She expresses her life in beauty and bounty. She has many faces, but in the end, all is for love. Her power is unnameable, but yet she gives it to all that she creates. So I feel her power running through me in my childbirth and giving conception to childbirth, the raising of the children, the food upon the earth. I see her everywhere. And so when someone says, "You are the goddess," I open myself to reflect, allow others to see the goddess reflected in them. So I see the goddess reflected in you, and I just hold the space of that. So beauty, grace, love, consciousness, power, and divine pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you, Celestine. That's beautiful. And being a celestial priestess, what does being a celestial priestess mean?
Celestial priestess means to me in service of, and never falling from the grace of understanding that service, that place of being in which I am committed. I'm committed to holding the energies of spirituality, emotions, mental grace, and physical grace. For me, it is about being inspired. I become inspired to do an offering. I become inspired to write certain messages and give it to humanity. Perhaps someone needs it for healing. I was inspired to educate myself in the arts of healing, in the arts of tinctures, perfumery. These things unfold naturally for me. And so the priestess is one whose work, in a sense, seva, is that of service to not only humanity, earth, the cosmos, but the celestial realms. So I'm very multidimensional. I started as a child understanding that all is intelligent. So my work is to work with the many facets of creation in ways that bring harmony, balance, truth, love, and compassion.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what does the redemption of the divine feminine mean to you?
First, I want to bow to her because the feminine energy of the divine goddess is graciousness, loving, magnificent. She is all of creation. Her energies, for me, they stretch into creation, and yet they're the small apple that I hold in my hand. They're the child that I conceived and I birthed. She is the mystery. And to know her on both sides, that place beyond the veil, where one surrenders one's spirit to her and she reveals your life. She is the breath that I am breathing. She is the depths of the water and the mysteries within the water. She is the menses. She is the moon and the stars. I see her everywhere, and so it's very humbling. For me, the goddess is love, truth. She's an amazing teacher. And in giving me life, she gives me purpose and reason to live. She is awakening my consciousness. Her intelligence level is beyond words, yes. And I love her beauty. Her, when I say beauty, it's that level of perfection. And I see her mostly in the curves, the winding hills and the mountains and the flowers. So the goddess to me is life. She is the life giver. She is the life taker. She is mercy and severity. She's nature and the mind. She is the all in her forms of containing, holding, giving. I could go on, and but I want to just say my love for her is extreme. My life is the goddess. I feel her within me. And when someone sees me as the goddess, I know they are seeing themselves as the goddess because she's in all of us. And so it's beautiful. Beauty, grace. I see her in you. Schamet, I see her. And that is all I would say.
Oh, thank you, Celestine. Oh, beautiful. And so in relation to the goddess, how do you see that relationship with the priestess?
The relationship with the goddess with the priestess is individual. So for me, I am in service of the goddess. I'm in service of creation. Some are specific in their priestess work. They have a focus. But for me, the focus is feeling the impulse from her. What is she asking of me? Is she asking me to be in prayer, to offer a circle where people can gather together to speak, to heal, to receive her energies? Is she calling me to go under the moon and to receive the energies of the moon within my body? Is she asking me to walk down to the beach and make a flower offering? So her relationship with me is oneness. And because she is within me, I move, and she moves, and she has ways of connecting to the world through my essence. I feel her in times she comes out and she's healing. Her energies will flow through, and suddenly the person I'm working with is feeling better, or they're sharing their pain, and suddenly their pain is eased, the traumas that we go through in life. And I see her working through me, and I love it. It's a devotional service, and there is no separation. I understand my breath comes from the goddess. And so when I'm doing my prayers, I open my crown and I allow that energy to flow through as I am speaking right now. She is speaking to you through me. And that is, my priestess work enables me to become fully integrated with that which I am working with, that which I am being, that which I am serving. So that's what I would say.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And the celestial priestess piece of it and the Galactic Council, could you talk a little bit more about that?
Beautiful. The celestial priestess is in connection to service to all the cosmos. To live in a world where we can hear the sound of Venus. We understand the day of Venus. We hear the sounds of the sun, or we feel the sun, the power of the sun. We can utilize that energy. We know the time of the day. We know the moments that these celestial embodiments are strong and can be useful here on Earth. It takes years and years of knowing and practice and dedication and commitment to study and to learn and to utilize. So the celestial priestess that I am is in love with the cosmos. I watch the skies constantly, and I watch the clouds moving, and I'm connected to the nature spirits and nature flowing. I see faces within the clouds or intelligences that appear to me. And through this part of my life, since I was born and had the near-death experience, it has just been that way. So I started out as just being taught by my mother. She was deeply metaphysical, you would say. Not so much devotional spiritual, but she was a high priestess. And so her work, her service was that to nature. So I spoke with the thunder people and Native American in my blood. I was trained by Ruby Sky. You speak to the waters, you speak to the wind. So all of this is incorporated into my being. And I love it. I love it. So the celestial priestess is in tune with the timing of nature, the 28-day cycle of the moon. Perhaps I would I have a medicine wheel, perhaps I would call people to the medicine wheel during the times of full moon or new moon. Perhaps we would gather women together under the full moon to do prayers, to speak our truths, to heal our being. Perhaps I would take someone to the woods who is in trauma and pain and lay them upon the earth, knowing exactly where the power spots are, where the earth, the great mother, the cosmos, has shown me that this is a good place for healing bodies. And to let them take in the energies of the earth is deep medicine. There's medicine that is everywhere in the plants, in the trees, and the sky. And I have the pleasure as a celestial priestess to work with these things. How that is connected to the galactics is to understand that there is intelligence beyond humanity. When one is connected to, say, the angels, or Christians, even Muslims, all races have a form of angelic presence, helpers that come from the Creator. And having personal experiences with that, we honor them in our lives. These are celestial beings. And then there are those who travel in vehicles. They have business in different galaxies. They have workings that are going on here on Earth. And my life is very blessed in that I lived among them. Not only did I get the teachings as a young child of the Star Nations through the Arapaho and the Cherokee and the Navajo, the Hopi, my Croatan lineage as Native American. Also Egyptian, my nation of Sirius, Egyptian, Kemetic. But to later actually have a one-on-one experience with this grouping. And they call themselves the High Spiritual Council. And the first coming through was trance mediumship without even asking. It just was a part of my nature. They came through, and for about 15 years, I had an experience of other intelligences touching my being and speaking through me. Later, I was guided to a place where they actually lived and then incorporated themselves. This high celestial consciousness incorporated itself through the movement of ultra-terrestrials or extraterrestrials, as we call them now, but they're basically beings of the cosmos who live and work and have their lives. So over another period of 15 years, I had this amazing relationship with them. And I had them often appear to me, just manifest in front of me. I call these the immortals. And so it is true, without a shadow of a doubt, they exist and they have these capabilities. And if the heart is pure and you place yourself in a state where they feel the need to reach out and touch you, they will appear. And so I've had the joy of having that. So the celestial intelligence gives us gifts. And I think many of us are experiencing that at this time because the frequencies are higher and we are more open to receive. This generation that's coming through from, say, the baby boomers now to the children, you know, the young adults that are with us now on the planet, we are open to being in full positive relationship with the galactics, with the ultra-terrestrials, with the celestial beings. And many are experiencing it on a daily basis. I offer Galactic Origin sessions, which was given to me by this grouping, the High Spiritual Council and the Galactic Star Federation, to take people back to the time when they first came to Earth. Now imagine going back in your memory bank through your primal awareness to a time when you first came to Earth and really understanding why you were here. It's it's profound. So that's just a little drop in what it is to be connected to the God.
Beautiful, Celestine. And I understand you have written a book explaining a deep dive into what you've been talking about. Can you remind me about what it's called and where we could get that?
Thank you. Yes, the book is The Galactic Earth Council, Reintegration of Earthkin and Starkin. You can get it on Amazon, or you could go to my website and order it, the galacticearthcouncil.com. So galacticearthcouncil.com or Amazon. Yeah. It's a journey, my life journey. It's a biography of my life, but connecting to a group of people during the time of the oil spill on the planet, when we weren't quite sure that they could fix the leak of oil that was going in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. And above the skies, a fleet of starships appeared, galaxy ships. They came in from all over, different forms, and I could see them. You know, in order to connect, your synapses needs to be formally open. And they hung, there was one ship that hung over my house for 3 days. So finally I walked out and I said, what can I do to help? Because I knew they had come as a meeting of what was going on the planet. You see, what we forget is that this is their planet too. And they're definitely connected to the evolution and everything that's going on the planet. They are connected as we are connected together. They said, gather as many humans as you can and go to the mountaintop. So I gathered everyone, we had about 30 people. And they had asked us to give them permission to assist. And I thought that was beautiful. That it wasn't about our governments, our countries, or it was about just bring the humans that hear our call and come. So we came to the top of the mountain, a place where airplanes do not go. There's no airlines route. And we spent the day with them. They appeared in many forms. The High Spiritual Council appeared in their beautiful airships, and other galactic ships appeared, and we gave them permission. And we formed the Galactic Earth Council, and have been meeting for 10 years, still having relationships with these beings of high consciousness. And after that day, 2 days later, the oil spill, the leak came to a stop. And we'd like to say that we helped, but the book is about that. It has pictures, it has writings from the Galactic Earth Council, their experiences. And we go deep into chapter 11, which is an encoded transmission of their story of the Earth, and from their point of view, how we evolved, how it all came to be. So,
wow, that's amazing, Celestine. So you know what they think about what's going on the planet right now with the awakening, and I'd love to hear a bit more about that, about what they feel is happening right now with the pandemic, and where we're at and where we're going.
So, first of all, I'm going to give you kind of a little transmission from Tanandor. Tanandor is, I'm an ambassador to the High Spiritual Council, and Tanandor is the one that I connect with most. And his last transmission spoke about there's more than one Earth. In other words, we have Earth, but it's made up of each of us having an idea of what that is. So you have your whole universe, and I have my whole universe, which includes Earth, and we kind of overlap our belief systems. So we can see the mountain, but we see different mountains because your universe is your projection of what is in your heart, and my universe is the same. So what we have is the trees and the birds, everything is creating itself in its own universe, overlaying. We have now timelines. A timeline would be from child to adult. But if you break it down, it's moments of time and space, because there is no time, there's only present moment, yes? So the Earth at this time, humanity is making a decision what it wants to create. Each human in your heart is being tested against the feather of truth. There are two polar factions that are coming through. One is a grouping that have been working for 70 years to bring about the complete control over humanity. It is their belief system. They think in reverse consciousness, is what the Galactics call. Reverse consciousness is one in which you are opposite of oneness. So in oneness, everyone is considered, everyone is cared for as one grouping, one tribe, one species, one with creation. But in reverse consciousness, one is for oneself. One wants to control, to have. It works in genetic engineering. That's how you can tell where the reverse ones are, because they want to genetically engineer you so they can control you on whatever level, whether it's using nanoparticles. And it, we're not talking about a conspiracy. We're talking about an attitude of consciousness.
Yeah.
They want to, they do not care if you're harmed or hurt. They're just self-centered within themselves. So we have this grouping that work together to create the reverse consciousness control. I call it driving over the cliff. They will take humanity into ultimate destruction.
Yeah.
What's really interesting about the humans that are involved in this is that they're involved with galactic intelligences of reverse consciousness, and they mistakenly feel that they're in control of what's going on, but actually they're not in control. I say this with great authority because I spent time at Edwards Air Force Base and had an experience of understanding these other intelligences and how their thinking is. You know, I can be present, just even having a short moment of experience. You can find my interview about that. And if you want, I'll tell you what that is. Okay. So the other grouping is unified. That is what you're talking about, kind of the awakening. They're not asleep. They're not able to be controlled. I call it the 1/5 factor because the universe goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it begins again. And the fifth factor is kind of like the 0 point, and then it goes again. So those of us who have the 0 point consciousness, the oneness, we cannot be hypnotized. And we are awake, and we can see clearly that that's not a good thing to control people or to do genetic experimentation through vaccines, or even to create the mystical virus that is rampant on the earth. There is a mystery about it, and we could go into the sciences, but the vaccine, which is a quadrillion dollar industry right now, is, I won't even go there, but just understanding that those that are awake can see the movement of what the reverse ones are doing. And so you see this large grouping in May of 2020, there was a prayer and 5 million people showed up to pray for the world. I mean, that shares with you the awakeness of those of us on the planet. They stopped their day, they came into a grouping, and they prayed for the earth. And so that gives me a hope, you know. So there's 2 timelines, they said, and watch carefully how they weave together. So you have the grouping that brought this virus onto the planet, gave it to humanity, and humanity spread it, not knowing that the ultimate truth is to destroy and to eliminate as many humans as possible on this planet, to take the numbers down. And then you have this grouping that's working in bioacoustics, sound and frequency, to balance out the modulation of what's happening with the virus pandemic. And so we give praise to those practitioners, such as myself, who've been working night and day to get the information out about what can be the counterbalance. So we see the earth moving into higher consciousness, and the Galactics no longer have to hide. They no longer have to cloak, because the reintegration is happening. That's why I'm here with you today, is to be able to speak about it, that within our lifetime, we will have the ability to go from Earth to wherever in the cosmos multidimensionally. And we will have the benefits of a very high conscious group of intelligent beings, because the radiant one, which is the god goddess, has decreed that this should be so. So the reverse ones are working overtime. It's their end game. It's the end game. But they said to just hold to the highest. What we can do is see the end of the time, see the timeline, see that moment in time and space where the pandemic is over, the waters are clean, the people are awakened, and that we are one species, that we recognize we are one, and that we choose as a species to care for each other, to see it already happening and to know it will be so. So that's what I would say.
And so do you believe that all of this is meant to be for a higher purpose?
Yes, everything is an expression of the creator. And what I've been told and what I see constantly is the creator went through an experience in which it had to find the healing qualities of its life to strengthen itself from within.
Mm.
And the expression of seeing so many people being taken out, that overlay of having outside forces come into your life and I don't want to say attack, but I want to say affect and test your strength of will to live. It's a test of strength of will to live, and whether you choose to believe in the higher intelligence of yourself connected to the universe and that you're healthy and wise, or if you choose to allow yourself to be taken over. Those people who are sick have been sick for a long time. Most of the people who have the pandemic, there's been something within them, and perhaps it is their time to go. I tell everybody, the creator brings you in and the creator will take you out. That is the only one who can do this. Do not think the virus is taking you out, because it's not. There's something between you and the creator that's so private, and it's, not, it has to be taken into consideration. The numbers, I don't look at the numbers so much, because people are reporting an uncle fell down the stairs and passed away, and then the death certificate said pandemic.
Yeah.
COVID. So it's all, there's a game going on, smoke and mirrors, So
Yeah.
yes, but I see it's a test of the feather of truth.
Mm.
And what is your purpose here?
Mm-hmm.
What are you here to do? And this is the birthing canal for us to become galactic consciousness.
Mm.
This is a birthing canal for Earth. Earth is becoming galactic again. The wall is coming down, the veil is dropping, the frequency is rising, and we are becoming more and more awake.
Yeah. So you really do see this as, the part of the birthing of the new paradigm.
Yes. And it's our choice. I mean, each one of us, whatever's in the heart is what comes forth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So think about that. There's a lot of people who believe in the book of Revelations. And they've been pushing and pushing, and now Revelations is here. We're living through that moment in time. Oops. So we better get busy creating beyond Revelations, right? RB, beyond Revelations. Better get busy envisioning what is beyond that, because we're living in it right now. Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much, because if it is indeed that we are creating our reality, then of course we are living in Revelations, because that is such a huge reality of so many people and their beliefs and their consciousness.
There's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and it's all about, the Antichrist, and, we've got a leader who's literally, started a revolution. I mean, not necessarily started, but was the catalyst to allow it to come forth. And when you see what happened in the Capitol, with the people, and they've been there all the time. And what's interesting is, as a young girl being in England from America, I saw that there was so much karma for America, because they go into countries and they destroy the economy. They take over, and time again, Americans have done this. They actually formed themselves by stealing the land that they're on right now, you see, taking it over. So now it's coming back to them. Their own people are turning against them. And so I'm seeing And I don't want to say them, because I am American in the sense I was born into an American nation, but I feel like I'm more cosmic. It's like I want to take in the whole of creation in this, but seeing that there's purposeful, what goes out comes back, and I've been waiting. Even the Mayans talked about the dinosaur tripping. They said they don't want it to fall, because if it does, all the enemies, will come and devour the dinosaur. But they see it as the karma, so whatever came out, it's coming back. So it may be that we have to go through a revelation,
Revolution.
Revolution. Yes, thank you.
Mm.
May be that we need to see the truth of the people who are waiting with reverse consciousness, and take over consciousness, but not the education of love. They're not doing it because of love. They're doing it because what? They are wanting to grab a hold for themselves and control. And when they brought so much harm to people, tying nooses and things like that, you see. So this is the true America that came out.
Yeah.
And we'll see how they handle that. It's going to be interesting. Prayers all around.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it almost feels like in order to get to the light, we have to see all the shadows and all the darkness. Yeah.
I agree. I think we need to polish our mirror. I think that's the decision. And there's so many lies, so many smoke and mirrors. I don't believe that any politician on the planet at this moment is really that clear and clean. But I'm forever praying for the leaders to come forth.
Yeah.
The true leaders to come forth and take their positions to guide us out. And we can, this is what the calling forth is, because that's the option.
And so what I'm hearing from you, Celestine, is that each and every one of us can keep polishing our mirrors and doing our own self-growth work. And if we all do that and keep holding the vision of what we're wanting to create, then that is what we can be doing. And wanted to ask you to clarify and communicate a bit more to everyone that's watching on what we can do, what we can do to, do I want to say offset the energy or move through the new paradigm as successfully and beautifully as we can?
Yes, I want to offer the gift. I wrote a book. It's a little ebook. You can get it for free. It's called The Golden Life Wisdom, The Meditation of Manifestation. And it goes through, was given by Meso, keeper of the books of the Seventh Council. I've been teaching this for 40 years. And it gets you in touch with understanding that whatever is in your heart is like the projector. It projects everything outward in the world that you see. And so going to the center core of the self, going totally within to that place, the solar self, the soul self, and really acknowledging your world and what needs to be changed. So you move by need, not want, because if you want something, you're just looking at it, you don't need it. But the universe gives you everything you need and more. So choosing something that you need, we need world government, we need, or even if you need something in your home or you need something in your life, to actually see it as it's already happened. You have to put an imprint, information, and the universe has such high intelligence it can read every particle, every nanoparticle of everything that you are saying. So you put out and envision what it is as if it's already happened. Okay? We put into it the emotions, no trauma, no drama, love, truth, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be easy, and if it's particular things like you need specific money or you need something to come in, be very clear. Now, here's the thing. If you feel that that will never happen because there's so many rowdy people or something's going to take, the universe goes, okay, I think I could make a batch of that. That will never happen. Or I don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough, so the power is within you to have clear mind and clear thinking. And the universe looks at that and says, and it gives you everything you need and more. And so sometimes it takes a little patience, but it does come through. The book takes you step by step through the process of meditating, checking within, checking to see how grandpa feels about you having that new car. Checking to see about how your husband feels about it, or if there's someone who thinks differently, to get them in alignment, how to use symbols. Okay, having an example would be I needed to move, and so I put it out there and I made a symbol. Not only did I get one house at one time, but I got the option of 3 houses that were just perfect. So they gave me everything I need and more, you see. Yeah. So our life right now, you can begin to become empowered in this way. When you manifest 5 things that come from within yourself and your connection to creation, you will know something beyond thought. You will know for the rest of your life, you manifest your own world. So we're asking to join us in manifesting a new world, a better world. And so you can, each and every one of you, take a moment and envision, what do you see? Children running free, the oceans cleaned up from all the plastic, clear, beautiful ocean, non-radiated, non-chemical, our skies cleared of chemicals. Seeing that, and the final is, how much do you need it? I need this, is the prayer. That the universe will then immediately begin to formulate and rearrange the universe to accommodate your belief. So I offer that in a little book. You can find it on goldenlifewisdom.com.
Yeah, thank you so much, Celestine. What a beautiful, beautiful gift. What a beautiful offering. I 100% believe in that and manifesting. I've been manifesting for over 20 years and it definitely works. And you and I are so aligned because I believe that if each and every one of us keep manifesting our most abundant life on all levels, then we can have world peace and we can birth a new paradigm. So I love everything that you're saying. And thank you so much for offering such a beautiful, beautiful gift for everyone. So yeah, my last question for you is, obviously manifesting our most abundant life, but the last one is just what message do you have for humanity and how can they connect in with the Galactics as well? Like, is that accessible for everyone?
Absolutely. Absolutely. First, I would say to recognize that you are a galactic being. You came from somewhere. And to recognize that your galactic intelligence in a biological body, physical body, having a human experience. I think people have said this before. So to explore that, I offer the Galactic Origin sessions. If you really want to know, you can go up on galacticearthcouncil.com and you go through a process. It's about an hour and a half, and you really get to go not only where you first came to Earth, but where you came from. And that's the glory. If you choose just on your own to understand your galacticness and connect, it starts with that inner meditation. You can maybe see them in the sky, but it takes a little bit of awakening your synapses. It's like Captain Drake, when he came in the Native Americans, some could see them and some could not see them because they just didn't have the synapses. So our grouping, the High Spiritual Council, is of the benefit for all sentient beings. And the symbol that they give me for us is a hummingbird. They call us the Hummingbird Clan. And so you can meditate and use the symbol of the hummingbird, but envision yourself connecting to the council. And I teach people how to connect through the flame, a beautiful flame, and they can look through the flame and see the council room. So, it's a little bit of stepping out and watching the sky, and that's going to connect you to the creator. And watch the clouds. And as you do this, you begin, I think the first step is recognize that it's actually happening, because some people don't believe. So there it is that, yes, it's happening, but I don't believe. So that's what's manifesting. So if you get you got to get really clear inwardly. And then you have to say, what is my intent? Why do I want to connect with the Galactics? Is it just because you want to know? They don't need to come and connect with you just because you want to know. They need to understand that you are ready to be in relationship with them. So understanding what your life is about. Are you a scientist? Are you a mother? Are you an archivist? Are you a writer? Are you an artist? For me, my intent was I was very strongly in need to understand the history of the world. So my adventures took me into the archives, which was phenomenal. That's another story. But
You've got so many stories.
these golden plates that when you look upon them, you get a hologram, and it teaches you through the hologram everything you need to know about what it is you're looking at. One symbol, and then they had libraries. But the history, when they gave me chapter 11, it answered so many questions. So that was me. But, I've had scientists, NASA scientists, and different scientists that wanted to make the connection. And so I give sky watches when I am told to come out. We work for 28 days of moon cycles. See, they're connected with nature.
Yeah. So Celestine, you're going to be offering a meditation for the All Access Pass. Could you explain that a little bit?
Sure. I'd like to offer a meditation for the world. I'd love to offer one to connect with drawing off the fear and giving it to the volcano goddess. Whatever goddess, whatever volcano that you know near you. In Hawaii is Pele, and they have the volcanoes of Iceland, and up north, different Kilimanjaro in Africa. But it'll be a meditation to begin to draw off fear out of your body, fear out of the world, and give it to the fire.
Oh.
And then using our light and our energy, we enter the center of the earth and we give our prayers.
Wow.
And move the energy up to the surface. And we ask the rains to water our prayers. The rain turns into pure light and it illuminates the sky. And we seal it with rainbows.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. So for everyone that's listening, the this beautiful goddess is going to offer this meditation in the All Access Pass. So definitely sign up for that so you can enjoy this meditation. I feel like that's a really important one, Celestine. I have a lot of fear around volcanoes too. I had a premonition of a volcano erupting, and then it did, and so I think there's a lot of healing around that that needs to happen. So thank you. I feel like you channeled that one in.
I felt like, yeah, so the mother's listening.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's
Two
good.
priestesses together.
Yes, and it's most useful meditation that people can use and share with each other.
Yeah.
Share it around the world, and we have groupings that do the meditation, and it really helps with bringing down the energy of all the fear that's going
Oh, beautiful. Perfect.
on.
What a perfect offering. Well, thank you so much for all of your time today. It's been so wonderful to have you in the interview. Thank you.
It's been my divine pleasure. Yes, so wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.